Former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca was once again subjected to an examination by a specialist doctor today. This was at a private hospital in Colombo.
Anoma Fonseca, speaking to News First, said that he was brought to the hospital to seek treatment for boil that had developed on his face. She added that it was also revealed during the examination that Sarath Fonseca had developed a shoulder injury as well. An X-ray had been taken and subsequently he had been subjected to physiotherapy. Because of corruption at the Petroleum Corporation, people are stranded on the roads. They said electricity will be exported. Now they are harassing the people. They have begun power cuts. Street hawkers were chased off. Shanty dwellers were chased off. One family and their relatives are enjoying luxury. What a miracle!
A petition filed by former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca against the Court of Appeal dismissing the petition filed against the second court-martial was called up before the Supreme Court today. The petition seeks a court order that declares the verdict of the second court-martial illegal as the judges of the court-martial and the judge advocate had not acted in an impartial manner.
The petition adds that when the Court of Appeal examined the petition, it did not pay attention to the facts submitted by the petitioner and dismissed the case. It goes on to state that the certified copy of the case heard before the Court of Appeal includes the signature of a judge who was not even a member of the panel of judges. The appeal adds that even though this was rectified later, it had been done without the involvement of the petitioner's lawyer. Accordingly, Sarath Fonseca seeks a court order from the Supreme Court nullifying this decision. The President's counsel added that he needs to obtain further instructions from his client. The Deputy Solicitor General appearing for the respondent stated that this petition has not been confirmed by court as yet. The petition was postponed until the 18th of this month. Meanwhile, the petition filed against the vacating of Sarath Fonseca's parliamentary seat was called up before the Court of Appeal today. When it was taken up, the court granted its permission to include the present Commissioner of Elections as a respondent in the petition. On an earlier date, court was informed through a motion that as the Commissioner of Elections who held office at the time the petition was filed has retired, the present Commissioner of Elections needs to be named as a respondent. Attorney-at-Law Shanaka Kure, appearing for Sarath Fonseca, stated that the petition has been revised, including the present Commissioner of Elections as a respondent. Court ordered an affidavit to be filed in this regard and issued notice on the Commissioner of Elections to appear before court on the 29th of August.
The gods are angered by the country. You can see King Kosal's dreams. People and animals died owing to the drought.
The Colombo High Court granted bail to the Army Corporal who was arrested on suspicion and placed in remand custody in connection with the assassination of journalist Lasantha Vikramatunga. This order was issued when the bail application forwarded by the suspect's wife was taken up for consideration before High Court Judge P. Padman Surasena today.
The suspect was ordered to pay 75,000 rupees as cash bail and provide two sureties of 100,000 rupees each. The Army Corporal was apprehended on the 27th of February last year on suspicion of being connected to the murder. The lawyer appearing on behalf of the Corporal told court that despite a long time having lapsed since his client was taken into custody, no legal case has been filed against him so far. The judge decided to grant bail as the State Council had no objection to it. You're with News First, coming up on the news tonight. Today is World Population Day. Tonight, in the first of 4 segments, we focus on the impact of 7 billion people on the climate. 67 killed and 250 injured in a train derailment in India. And also, Fernando Alonso wins the British Grand Prix in style. Details of these stories and much more coming up later on in the news.
But for the moment, take a look at more local news. The Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited says that work on constructing new fuel pipelines from the Colombo port to Kolonava will commence swiftly. Media personnel were given the opportunity today to observe the manner in which repair work was being carried out on the existing pipe network.
According to the Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited, the existing pipe network which carries fuel from the Colombo port to the Colonnau storage facility is more than 40 years old. Recently, a 300-meter section of this pipeline became unusable and renovation work on this stretch of pipeline has commenced. The company hopes to commence constructing a new pipeline over the next few months to replace the old pipelines. Chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited stated that even though this work was to commence in 2008 in this regard, this was not possible owing to squatters. This is the only pipeline that is there to transport oil between the port and Colonnau. It is the only pipeline which supplies fuel to the entire country. But the biggest problem we face when laying these pipes is squatters. There are around 490 families residing illegally on these lands. Most of them live on top of this pipeline. However, those who have constructed illegal houses say that they should be removed only after providing a suitable solution. It is only now that we realize that this is an unsafe area. We didn't realize until now. No one told us that this is an unsafe area. Without telling us anything, they have filed lawsuits and are asking us to leave. We are permanent residents. We have electricity, water and even voting rights. We have everything.
If we're given a house, we're willing to leave. We have voted for 6 presidents. Now they're saying we're squatters. How can we be squatters?
We have decided to pay them a sum of money as compensation.
Legal experts have pointed out that legal action cannot be instituted against the Channel 4 documentary. However, the Ministry of External Affairs states that the government has decided to institute legal action against the Channel 4 network after conducting a broad investigation. According to the information we have received, the visuals in the Channel 4 documentary are made up. Therefore, with the help of experts, we will conduct an investigation and confirm that this has been done by the diaspora to tarnish the image of Sri Lanka. After confirming that, we will institute legal action.
The reputation is safeguarded by law only in respect of natural persons. So the law of defamation applies only with regard to natural persons, that is human beings, not with regard to legal entities. Now a state as such is a legal entity. There is nothing called a reputation of a state which is safeguarded by the private law that is operative in these countries. And if reputation is affected, a person who is affected by such publication can file an action and recover damages. In respect of the state, action of that nature cannot be taken.
My view is that no useful purpose will be served by going to court, because an order obtained from a court will take many years, even in a foreign jurisdiction. If the government or any party is desirable in activating a foreign jurisdiction on this question, my personal view is that it should not be the government who should appear as a party, but an individual who has suffered some kind of harm or pain of mind or damage or injuries for himself. In any event, I would not recommend court procedures, because what is required is fast relief.
Senior Minister of Good Governance and Infrastructure Facilities, Ratnasara Wickramanayake, states that it is essential to amend the constitution in order to bring about a political solution. The senior minister made this statement at a meeting in the Horana area yesterday.
The Horana Central Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party convened yesterday under the chairmanship of Senior Minister Ratnasara Wickramanayake.
ගැඹුරෙන් කල්පනා කරලා විසඳුමකට ආ යුතුයි. අද විසඳුවත් හොඳයි හෙටට වඩා. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම
Although we don't like it, we must think deeply about this problem and try to find a solution. It is better to resolve it today than tomorrow. We must definitely find a solution by amending the constitution. It is essential. Whatever solution we may reach, we cannot stop it from changing the constitution. The TNA should try to comprehend this at least now. We should all work towards resolving this problem democratically. We may not agree with your opinion, but we should have a discussion and exchange ideas. You may not get exactly what you expect. However, through discussions, we should be able to find something which could be marketed to the other areas. The consensus reached should be something that could be marketed. Let us unite to face this problem rather than facing it alone.
විකිණි හැකියාවක් වෙන්නට ඕන අලිවි කරන්න පුළුවන් එකක් වෙන්නට ඕන. අපි එක්කාස් වෙලා මේ ප්‍රශ්නෙට මුහුණ දෙමු. තනි තනිව.
The occupations associated with the tea industry are the main source of income for 85 families residing in the Mavatta, Warkatan and Udupalampiti villages, which belong to both the Berannava and Udupalampiti Gramaseva divisions of the Adyantara Divisional Secretariat. Although the people residing here engage in the tea industry, which in turn makes a direct contribution to the country's economy, living in these areas is a big challenge to these people. The reason for this is the unavailability of any sort of infrastructure facilities for these villagers. The challenge of transporting the stock of tea leaves to the Adyantara main road in Pallampitia, which is nearly a kilometre away, on a daily basis is the main problem faced by them. This is because they have no other means of travelling on such rough terrain except with their own 2 feet.
After we pluck the tea leaves and we take it to the top, we have to pay a certain fee to transport it from there onwards. If we bring a stock of fertilizer from there to here, we have to pay 300 to 400 rupees.
Although the people residing in these villages, which have not experienced any development, have requested for the construction of an entry route from those responsible in the government, their requests have fallen on deaf ears. Those who are severely inconvenienced owing to the absence of a suitable road for transportation are school children.
We have to always look out for the children. When it rains, the parents have to carry umbrellas and see whether their children have fallen into the stream. Even when there is a funeral, 4 to 5 people have to stay on the road in the rain in order to bring the coffin. It is so difficult.
The power station constructed by these villagers 10 years ago, which could supply electricity to nearly 40 houses, is now insufficient.
We don't have electricity from 6 to 9 p.m. Only the filament works. Therefore, our children study with the use of lamps.
The government says that electricity will be provided, but that has not materialized.
What is the reason for villagers such as Mavatta, Warkatan and Udupalampiti, which do not have even the basic necessities, to have been disregarded at a time when they should be given prominence in the development campaigns such as Gamanagama and Maganagama? Senior Minister of Rural Affairs, this is over to you.